I texted him. He felt it. I mean, of course, I think he didn't expect it. Of course, it's. I think he just needs to be with his family right now. You know, it's a big move. It's a business. I don't know. You know, I think nobody expected, especially not him. I think nobody's safe in the league. It seems like, but I think he's gonna do a good job. You know, I think he's the player for the big scene. Even though I thought in Dallas he had something special going.
A silence blanketed the entire sports world when the headline first appeared. Luka Dončić was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. For an instant, people wondered if it was a prank or a hacking incident. After all, Luka Dončić at just 25 years old had every hallmark of a franchise cornerstone, someone you build an entire dynasty around. Yet in the blink of an eye, he was shipped out of Dallas in exchange for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a future first-round pick. The gravity of this move hit the league like a seismic wave. Fans scrambled to verify what felt impossible, while analysts doubled back on every reason why this could have happened. Salary issues, personal disputes, secret demands, or perhaps even deeper hidden agendas. The only certainty at that moment was that no one, not even established superstars, are safe from the NBA's perpetual state of flux. So how does such a monumental trade even come to pass, especially one so hushed that even fellow players had no clue? Today, we dive into every angle of this shocking twist, exploring how it blindsided the league's biggest names, why it might have happened in silence, and what this could mean for the future of the NBA. From his earliest days in Dallas, Luka Dončić was labeled as untouchable. He was the unstoppable prodigy out of Europe, the teenage sensation who shredded defenses with his scoring, passing, and sheer basketball genius. Dallas fans envisioned him not just as a star player, but as a living legend, someone who could bring them back to championship glory and create a new era of Mavericks dominance. Across the league, whispers hinted at various tensions in Los Angeles centering around Anthony Davis and his health, as well as the Lakers' uncertain roster construction. Yet even those rumors never implied that the Lakers were plotting something so bold as to swap one of their own centerpieces for Luka. In fact, the assumption among insiders was that LA would try to add a third star alongside AD and LeBron, not flip their star forward outright. To make matters stranger, there was absolute radio silence before the deal. Not a single reporter leaked a rumor, not a single unnamed source teased the possibility. When the story first broke, many on social media assumed it had to be fake. Even fellow NBA players thought ESPN's social media had been compromised. That was the atmosphere: confusion, a scramble for clarity, and a sense that something very unusual had gone down behind closed doors. Yet sometimes, trades happen for reasons beyond the public's gaze. Budget constraints, hidden friction, or a front office betting its future on a new direction. Could Dallas have harbored quiet doubts about their ability to put the right supporting cast around Luka? Did the Lakers see a narrow window to secure the league's next megastar while LeBron transitions into a mentorship role? It's all speculation at this point, and the only people who truly know are those deep in the boardrooms. When a move this explosive goes down, the first place fans look is the social media accounts of star players. How did the league's best react? Nikola Jokić was one of the first to speak publicly. As a fellow European MVP caliber player, he understands Luka's journey in ways few others can. They've discussed the challenges of moving to America, adjusting to the NBA's schedule, and being thousands of miles from home. Jokić admitted he texted Luka immediately, sensing how emotional this sudden upheaval would be. He sounded genuinely upset, almost like he was mourning the loss of Luka's comfort in Dallas, yet also hopeful that Luka could thrive in LA, a massive stage fit for his otherworldly talents. Meanwhile, Stephen Curry took a different angle. He echoed the shock everyone felt, but he also touched on a sobering truth. There really are only a handful of players in the league who can sleep soundly each night, confident they won't be traded. Curry knows that feeling intimately, having established himself as the face of the Golden State Warriors for over a decade. But the idea that someone in Luka's tier, a generational star at just 25, could be dealt was beyond belief. If Luka can be traded, is anyone truly safe? Another voice chiming in was Kevin Durant, a man whose name is often linked to blockbuster deals. He's bounced from Oklahoma City to Golden State to Brooklyn and beyond, so he's familiar with the business side of being a superstar. Yet even he was floored. He pointed out how rare it is for a rising icon to get moved in his early 20s. Usually that's the exact player player you lock down long-term without hesitation. For KD, the sheer audacity of this trade felt insane and indicated that no matter how firm a star's foothold appears, it can vanish overnight. Kyrie Irving delivered one of the most telling reactions. He described it as a grieving process, mourning the sudden breakup of the Dallas duo that featured him and Luka in the backcourt. They had remarkable on-court chemistry, silencing critics who questioned whether two ball-dominant guards could share the spotlight. Just as they were turning the Mavericks into a genuine contender, that partnership was torn apart. Kyrie understood Luka's shock better than most, having been on the move multiple times himself. Anthony Edwards was similarly perplexed. He boldly called Luka the best scorer in the NBA, emphasizing how mind-boggling it is for a team to trade away a player so young and so dominant. Edwards, a cornerstone in Minnesota, felt there must be a larger story, a piece of information the public isn't privy to. How else do you explain a franchise giving up on a 25-year-old who had just led them to an NBA Finals appearance? These uncertainties feed a swirl of conspiracy theories online. Some fans speculate Dallas's front office was spooked by behind-the-scenes disagreements. Others wonder if Luka's own ambitions clashed with the Mavs' future strategy, prompting them to deal him before he demanded out. Whether it's personal conflict or purely business, everyone senses there's more to the story than meets the eye. Just as people started forming their own narratives, more high-profile perspectives poured in, providing bits and pieces of insight but no definitive answers. For now, the why remains as big a mystery as the hush surrounding the deal. But the trade also underscored another rising theme in the NBA, the growing power and influence of European stars. For years, the NBA has been witnessing a surge of elite European talent. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Dončić, Nikola Jokić, Kristaps Porzingis, and so many others have reshaped what it means to be an international player. Now, with Luka headed to the bright lights of Los Angeles, the conversation about European stars taking over big market teams has only grown louder. Giannis himself jokingly said he wants to see all the top Europeans move to major markets. Although he framed it as playful banter, his words triggered immediate speculation. Could Giannis be hinting at a future where he leaves Milwaukee for a glamorous destination like Golden State or New York? It might be just a joke, but fans and pundits alike know he hasn't ruled out a new chapter if the Bucks can't remain contenders. All of this highlights a bigger trend. European players are no longer perceived as sidekicks or intriguing wildcards. They are full-fledged superstars, often dominating the MVP race. Now, one of the biggest franchises in sports history has pinned its future on a European sensation who's still years away from his true peak. If Luka's move to LA proves successful, it could signal a new era where front offices aggressively chase the next global icon, betting on the worldwide appeal and unique skill sets that players from overseas bring. While fans fixate on the Lakers' new dynamic duo, there's a whole separate story unfolding in Dallas, one that may end up equally dramatic. By sending Luka out, the Mavericks have chosen to embrace Anthony Davis as the potential face of their franchise. For years, AD has voiced his preference for playing alongside a big man who can shoulder the brunt of defensive duties in the paint, freeing him to dominate in more flexible offensive sets. Now he might finally have that. The Mavericks front office is reportedly looking to stack the roster with versatile centers and stretch forwards, allowing AD to roam freely at the power forward spot, just as he's always wanted. Some analysts believe this could unlock the best version of Davis we've ever seen, provided he stays healthy, but that's a big gamble, given his track record of injuries. Dallas fans are understandably torn. On one hand, they're losing a generational superstar who seemed destined to retire in a Mavs uniform. On the other, if AD stays on the court and thrives in the system, the team's overall ceiling might remain high, maybe even championship caliber again. The front office is banking on the idea that Davis, at 30 years old, still has prime years left. For them to willingly give up Luka, they must be extremely confident in that belief. From Anthony Davis's perspective, the move was every bit as shocking as it was for fans. He had no advance warning, just a call that turned his life upside down in the span of an hour. Yet he's spoken optimistically about having a new start in Dallas, eager to prove he's worth the blockbuster price they paid. The question looming is whether Dallas made the right call or if they'll end up regretting it for decades, watching Luka thrive elsewhere. As Dallas braces for a new identity, Los Angeles welcomes a player who might become the true heir to LeBron James. From the moment LeBron James first watched Luka Dončić, he was captivated by the young phenom's all-around brilliance. Their styles mirror each other in uncanny ways. Both read the floor like veteran point guards. Both can bully defenders with their size. Both score at will, and both elevate any teammate who steps onto the court with them. For the Lakers, pairing Luka with LeBron is a dream scenario. LeBron is still playing at an elite level, but at 38, he's more than ready to share the workload and eventually pass the torch. Luka, meanwhile, gains the ultimate mentor. Where Dallas gave him the freedom to do everything, Los Angeles might give him the knowledge on how to win at everything, something LeBron has perfected through countless playoff runs and 4 NBA championships. Early interviews suggest that both superstars are excited to integrate their games. Luka admits it feels surreal to suit up alongside a legend he grew up idolizing, while LeBron praises Luka's unmatched versatility and game sense. There's even talk that they might run co-point guard sets, allowing each to orchestrate the offense in different ways, unleashing a level of creativity we've rarely seen in the NBA. Critics, of course, raise concerns. Will each player's ball dominance clash? Could this hamper the rest of the Lakers roster, turning them into bystanders? Yet if there's any pair capable of balancing their usage, it's these two. They're both renowned for their unselfishness and high basketball IQ. Most likely, they'll terrorize opponents with unstoppable pick and rolls, cross-court passes, and a level of spacing that hasn't been seen since LeBron teamed up with prime Dwyane Wade. No one can dispute the magnitude of this deal. A week ago, the thought of Luka Dončić leaving Dallas was unthinkable. He was the franchise, the golden boy, the unstoppable force set to break every Maverick record. Now he's preparing to rock the purple and gold alongside one of the greatest players in NBA history. In the short term, the trade reconfigures the championship picture, vaulting the Lakers back to the top of the conversation. Meanwhile, Dallas becomes a massive question mark. Did they just orchestrate the biggest error in modern NBA history? Or can Anthony Davis spearhead a new era that validates the gamble? Yet beyond wins and losses, this saga reminds us how fragile the notion of loyalty is in pro sports. One minute, a player can be celebrated as the face of the franchise for the next decade. The next, they're packing their bags and scouring online listings for a home in a new city. Even players like Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant, who have shaped entire organizations, know the sting of this reality, whether through near trades, abrupt moves, or shocking signings. Where does this leave us as fans? For one thing, we're on the edge of our seats, watching the dawn of what could be the greatest duo of the next few seasons. We're also left wondering if more surprises lurk around the corner, maybe in Milwaukee, maybe in Phoenix, or maybe somewhere else entirely. After all, if a 25-year-old generational scorer isn't untouchable, who is? The NBA has shown time and again that the next shock is always on the horizon. In a league where fortunes flip overnight, this trade might be a defining pivot point for years to come. It's a reminder that no matter how certain something looks, one phone call can rewrite the entire script. This time, Luka became the plot twist nobody expected. Tomorrow, it could be another superstar. And so, we close this chapter with more questions than answers. Will Luka and LeBron go down as one of the greatest duos in Lakers history? Can Anthony Davis finally realize his dream role in Dallas, unlocking an MVP caliber run? Or will a new wave of drama and behind-the-scenes revelations turn the NBA's balance of power on its head again? In the end, maybe that's what keeps us glued to every alert and every rumor. This league is never short on spectacle, and as we watch the next era of superstars jockey for position, it's clear that this blockbuster trade is only the beginning of a story that's far from finished. One thing is certain, the NBA just got a whole lot more unpredictable, and we're all along for the ride.